Okay, Scouts, the next thing that was on our agenda to make was pasta with a homemade sauce. So here is the beginnings of a homemade sauce. Extremely simple. You can do this easy at home. What we've done is we've started with 12 Roma tomatoes, and then 1 onion and 4 cloves of garlic. We've chopped those up and we tossed them in olive oil on this baking sheet and set it in the oven to roast for about 30, 40 minutes, 35 minutes. Out of the oven. So this is what came out of the oven. All you missed was cutting out the vegetables and laying them out with some olive oil. And now we're ready to just take these vegetables. And this, there's a little rosemary in here too, actually, some sprigs of rosemary. And she told me she's also added thyme. So we're going to take this right now and put it into the food processor. Like I said, just 2 or 3 sprigs of thyme, 2 or 3 sprigs of rosemary, 3 or 4 cloves of garlic, 1 onion small, chopped, 10 to 12 Roma tomatoes. You won't find this big recipe anywhere. So now, because we are going to cook for a lot more Scouts, I am going to take a shortcut and just add a can or so of diced tomatoes into the food processor. Now, you'll notice one other thing about this pan. This pan has a lot of good stuff on it. Had I a few extra minutes, I would set this down with some water or some sauce, or maybe even some tomato juice, heat this up a little bit and scrape this off back into the sauce. There's a lot of really tasty stuff in this sauce. So at this stage, we're ready to go into the food processor. And we're just going to pulse this. Now when we're done with this a little bit, by the way, if it's not runny enough to go onto your pasta, and you want a little more runny, what you're going to have to do is just take a little hot pot, the water the pasta cooked in. Don't take regular water. Take the water from the spaghetti or the pasta that you cook and just gradually add a little of the pasta water into this. Since I'm making this a little beforehand, we may add that later, but pasta water is what goes into the sauce to thin it out a little bit and get it to the consistency you like. Okay. Now at this stage, you're ready for some sauce. It looks a little pinkish. It's not as dark red as you might have in other cases, but trust me, as simple as this is, we have less than maybe, other than letting this roast, 5 to 10 minutes in this sauce, and your parents are going to love it, you're going to love it, and it's pretty easy to do.